So our final speaker today has been born in Argentina, and he's been always crazy about football. It obviously didn't hurt that his father, Jair Bertoni, won the FIFA World Cup in Argentina the same year he was born. The love of the game encouraged him to pursue a career in football administration, and he's working as FIFA's Director of Member Associations Americas. So please welcome our last speaker of the day, Jair Bertoni.
Thank you. Thank you very much for the presentation. First of all, I would like to thank Joao for the invitation to the organizer of iWorkinSport. And it's a tremendous opportunity for me to be here, particularly because I was a student, as many of you, a postgraduate in the FIFA Master as well. And I would have loved to have this opportunity of this sort of platform at my time when I was a postgraduate, because it would have enabled me to actually interact with a lot of recruiters, and as well to have a widening opportunity to get a job as well. And as well, sometimes I was confused myself when I was studying the FIFA Master. And it would have helped me as well to understand where I wanted to work, in which organization, but also as well in which area. And obviously, as a South American, as some of the crowd here probably, and as a lover of football, I pretty much knew in advance that I wanted to work in FIFA. Everybody from South America is coming more or less, if you like football, with this idea when you come to Europe. So I think it's for me important as well to be here, because as my title is saying, I'm normally very keen to help people in their career. And many times I'm doing it by giving them advices to people, by connecting people with other people, and as well sometimes to act as well as a reference for many people when they are looking for a job. So for me, this is an opportunity to reach a wider audience in this respect. And my main purpose today is to bring some relief to those that are still looking for its first or its continuous progress in their career and getting a job, because I think that it's not impossible to get a dream job and accomplish your professional goals. But much more important is that you need to know that you need people to help other people actually to reach your dream job. And with this, I want to actually as well pay homage to those people that really helped me throughout my career, but also to those that actually didn't help me, which are also as much as important as those that support me throughout my career. Because those people that will not give you the opportunity to have interviews, will actually reject you in a position, are important because they will teach you how to improve throughout your career. And I would like to break a little bit the anxiety of my presentation and do a small exercise with all of you here. So the first thing I would like you to do is to put your right hand, I will do it with this, your right hand in front, thinking about a person that so far really helped you in your professional career. At the same time, I would like you as well to put your left hand in front, thinking about those people that let you down, those people that put you down so far in your professional career. So I'm seeing that everybody here has confronted with those type of people. And you know that normally when we face critical moment and crucial moment in life, like for instance when you are about to crash, or me that I'm a lousy skier and I'm about to fall, you normally put your hands like this to protect, to strengthen yourself. And this is the lesson I would like to give you today. Basically, you need both type of people. Those of your right hand that help you in your career, and those on your left hand that actually put you down. Because those people are going to actually make yourself leading you to do the right choices in your career. Both of them. So it's not my intention to promote myself today, but it's much more about sharing my personal experience with you, and I hope it will actually help you during the next 30 minutes that we have about my career, but also I would like to unveil to you which were the 3 cardinal principles that helped me to be at the right position where I'm currently in my career. And these 3 cardinal principles will actually lead you to improve, adapt, and grow, also to define who you are, and as well, which is also important, to clearly understand what you want and not how to get there, but how to persist to get there. So I will start a bit with the first cardinal principle. So I was born in 1978. It was the first World Cup in Argentina and the only one still organized till today. And I don't remember too much because I was born in August and I was still in my mother's belly when it was played the final at that time. And my father was playing that final and he scored the final goal in the World Cup. So probably I was just sneaking through my mother's belly button in the stadium. And after that, basically my father started a long-lasting career in football. So I was 40 days only when we moved to Sevilla, so where he played, and then 7 years in Italy. We went to Florence, to Naples, as well to Udine, where he played, and we went back to Argentina. And throughout all those times, but also until today, I have the opportunity to interact with a lot of football personalities. I've been lucky to meet Maradona. I've been lucky to share moments with coaches, international coaches, as well with referees, as well with people working in clubs. And I live a lot of football moments myself. I was a player as well, and not the top one. I was a rough defender. Many of my victims are probably here among the audience today. Joao Frigerio is one of them, so he can actually say and give evidence of what I'm talking about. But this experience that I had with those people and the moment that I lived in football actually make me acquire all these key learnings about football. And I had the possibility to see football from different angles, being in changing rooms, understanding as well what those beneficiaries of football wanted. And it was really important for me as well to participate in tables discussions, anecdotes, which are obviously an important thing when you are just a teenager and you listen all these great personalities of football talking about how they play the game and what are their experiences. And many times I ask myself, and probably as well you are, did my choice of my career path was just randomly driven? Or actually, I was basically influenced by those people that surrounded me, by my likes and dislikes, and by my passion. So many people will say passion is this emotional element that will bring you the success in your career. And I will say to those people that if you rely on that emotional element 100% for being success in your career, then you will be at risk. Actually, it all starts from your competitive advantage. And you will listen to me throughout the presentation talking a lot about competitive advantage. And this competitive advantage, you need to maximize it. And obviously, is this part intrinsic of you? Is this skill of ability that you actually are born with, but is a specific one that no one else will have, only you. And this competitive advantage, obviously you need to nurture it because it will be very important for you to leverage on it at the time that you go to a job interview, at the time that you are actually trying to excel in a job. So normally we'll say that this competitive advantage is that skill, that ability that is really important normally as well to develop. And if you see all the greatest players, all the greatest musicians, they normally try first to identify which is that competitive advantage. And this is the challenge. Many people die without knowing which is my competitive advantage. Do you know which is your competitive advantage? How many of you knows which is the competitive advantage that you have in your career? Can you raise your hands? Yeah? So you did the homework then. Well done. I mean, imagine in a world where Van Gogh would have never discovered his competitive advantage. He didn't know he was actually able to do those amazing paintings. Imagine as well if, for instance, Mozart didn't know what would have been his competitive advantage. We would have precluded ourselves for great music that he composed. But imagine bringing this to sport and football. If Messi would not have discovered his competitive advantage, and he would not have started kicking a ball in a garage or in a parking slot. So that competitive advantage, in my case, and my strength, it was to know and understand the intrinsic spirit of football, of the game. And I had to thank all those people from which I learned, that I listened, that I exchanged opinion, because they actually helped me to discover that competitive advantage. So I will say that over time, that competitive advantage as well will provide you with first the impetus to learn more. So I remember at the time I was in Argentina. Now I pretty much will disclose that how old I am. But there was not much of internet and all these reports and all those access to information that you have today. But I remember that I was going to any event, any course, any conference that was existing about football and about sport management. Also, that competitive advantage will provide you the desire to research more. So how many of you are subscribed to magazine, digital? How many of you, basically, you follow reports, analysis of the sport that you like, or maybe the area of sport management that you like? So we are still good in the right area. People are still researching, and this is good. And this is part of your quota of self-training. No one else will tell you you need to do that or you need to do this. It's actually yourself, the one that has this desire. It's because you want to continue to develop your competitive advantage. And as well, you will have the will to explore more. And I remember I was in Argentina back in the time in my car, driving, and all of a sudden an idea was striking in my head. And I was arriving home and immediately going to take pencil and pen to write down this idea. Then the frustration was coming. I saw that this idea was explored and developed by many, many other people. So that ideas were now in the garbage or in the drawer of my office, probably there. And obviously I thought, okay, how frustrating it is, but at the same time, I was imagining that I was exercising my mind, and it's important to exercise your mind. And then don't be closed, because also that competitive advantage will assist you to basically grasp as well technical knowledge that are not 100% related with that area of your preference. For instance, you need obviously to learn languages, IT skills, all that will supplement and will help you throughout your career. And finally, which I think is also very important, is that competitive advantage will make you respect those people that knows more than you. To listen those that actually had a much more developed experience and cultural background, and listen to them is very important, because at the end of the day, you will learn and learn more than what you are actually now. And I always compare the knowledge with the 2 points, one line, and you normally go and move step by step, but along the way, you need those people that are willing to share the knowledge. Otherwise, I mean, where we were actually looking for the knowledge. So this was important at the time, and remember, identify first your competitive advantage. But that competitive advantage actually doesn't grow by itself, doesn't perfect by itself. You need to nurture it. You actually need to give all the elements to still make this competitive advantage slowly to perfect. So you take, for instance, Cristiano Ronaldo. He has a great competitive advantage to play football. Strength, ability. He's physically one of the greatest players that we have. But he just doesn't only identify that competitive advantage, but he nurtured it. He stays every day, long hours training, going to the gym, doing 1,000 abs. Take David Beckham, an excellent free kick striker, but he was also nurturing that competitive advantage. He was staying longer hours after training and practicing the free kicks. And for us, which is for us that nurturing? For us, that nurturing is to go and read a book, to travel if you have the possibility, as well to start from incipient jobs. This is necessary in one's career, because you need to start from those jobs like an internship in the summertime working for a sport organization, or maybe as well being a volunteer in a sport event. And as well, more important, is that you need to have a breakthrough experience, because it's there where you will actually get a lot of knowledge and meet a lot of people from different backgrounds. And for me, that breakthrough experience, it was not only to meet Joao, but it was to do the FIFA Master. So this was a very stressful period, I would say, because as a South American, and I'm seeing many people here of the FIFA Master, ISTS Master, other Masters, normally when we come to Europe, and we are from abroad, Europe, from other continents, we just wonder ourselves, will be able myself to get a job in Europe? We are desperate for it. I mean, many. Some others, they have clear in their minds they want to go back with the family, with the friends, and do also making the difference in their home countries. But for me, it was a very stressful period, I remember. But it was also one of the wonderful times of my life, not only professionally, but also personally. And I remember that all this stressful time didn't preclude me to still nurture my competitive advantage. So I was not only learning from professors and also from all the great experience that experts in the industry were teaching us, also by visiting sporting iconic locations, but I also learned from the 27 people that were joining me in the classroom. Those 27 personalities and different nationalities that were part of the class of the FIFA Master in the 5th edition in 2004 and 6. So I was able to learn from them which is the real passion of football around the world, and also how is the landscape of sport around the world. And I didn't stay only in the academic part, but I also moved forward in terms of the nurturing of my competitive advantage. And I learned much more things that you may think now, when you are postgraduates, that could be trivial, but are not. For instance, I learned which is the real difference between spicy and real spicy, thanks to my Korean friend. I also learned some words to survive in Japanese. And as well, I understood which is the difference of accents, South American, South African especially, and as well Scottish without any translation. And I was able as well to learn the importance of European clubs for the Asian market and the sporting Cuban reality. And all that were outside the content of the program. But they were not trivial at all, because at the end of the day, when I started to engage with my colleagues and clients from around the world, they actually helped me a lot to interact with them, to catch their attention, and also their interest. So it's very important as well, that part. So nurturing is just not evolving per se one day. It's just a continuous process that you need to overcome and continue doing it on a daily basis. But it always, as I said, rely on people, because you need those people that are more knowledgeable than you to share, to be willing to share that knowledge that they have. So at the end of the FIFA Master, I was without a job. I was without any interviews. I was with a financial investment to repay. I was as well with a broken relationship of 5 years. All my family and friends were in Buenos Aires, so I couldn't be worse. But I was always persistent, and I thought that I needed to continue moving. And you know what? All of a sudden, I received a call from FIFA for a job as a coordinator. And I remember I went to that interview so enthusiastic. I was running in the street of Zurich. I arrived to the headquarters of FIFA a little bit sweat to be on time. I was farther on time. I think I was maybe half an hour before the interview. And I was there. And when the people started to interview me, these people actually started to say to me, "Are you willing to serve a glass of water to the guests that they are coming?" And I said to myself internally, I'm not only willing to do that, but everybody sometimes watch that movie Cocktail of Tom Cruise. So I was willing to serve the water, doing all the tricks of the bartender as well of Tom Cruise. I was willing to make it all in order to get that job. But unfortunately, the frustration came. They told me I was overqualified for the job. So I thought about myself, what else I need to do in order to actually reach that job? And to be honest, the first thing that came to my mind was I would actually do whatever I can to prove those people that were wrong. And actually, I will wait for the right time. Maybe that one was not my time. So after that, normally, how many people you listen that they are telling you, to get a job, you need to have the right skill, at the right moment, in the right place. I had to say, I don't agree too much with that statement. For me, what you need to do is to find the right person that will believe in your skills and your competitive advantage. For you to exert those in the right position, in the right job, and also doing it at the right moment of your career in the right place. For me, that person, at that time I was in despair, was Mr. Jouvet. He unfortunately passed away some years ago, but it was the person that actually believed in my competitive advantage. And at that time, he offered me the job to be part of the FIFA Master, working, so on the other side of the street, working for the FIFA Master as a coordinator for the management model in Milan. And I was watching all my friends going to IOC, going to UEFA, going to FIFA, and I was saying how frustrated I feel. Like, I'm going to get this job now in the FIFA Master, but also was one of the most fruitful experience in my life. And while the frustration was trying to beat me, I thought, I need to have a plan, and I need to adapt to my job reality. And this is the second principle I want to share with you. So you need to adapt to your job reality. I had a plan. What I did was, I have two main responsibilities as a management, in the management model as a coordinator. One was to service the students, to provide all the logistic and organizational aspects. And as well, the other responsibility was to welcome all the guest speakers. We restructured the management model, so we invited a lot of experienced people from the industry. And what I did basically was to provide to them a program, the profiles of the students, but I also create my own package. So I gave my CV, I gave my business card, and was inviting them to have dinner, lunch. I did a bit of research, who these people are, what is going on in their organization, just to create conversation as well, to exchange opinions. And I was telling to these people what I wanted to do and which was my intention after the FIFA Master job. And it actually worked out. Because at a certain point, the colleagues of Lega Serie A, the Italian league, obviously they told me that there was an organization that was being created in Lyon, and if I wanted just to send the CV, because they needed a personal assistant to the general secretary. I was coming with a lot of experience from Italy, and also from the master, and also from Buenos Aires, my jobs, and I thought to myself, a personal assistant position. But this also didn't preclude me. So what I did was to send my CV. I went to meet the general secretary in Lyon. And you know what? This is something that actually surprised me in life. The guy was very interested in what I was doing in the FIFA Master as a coordinator. Why? Because he was thinking to implement an educational program for the leagues. for the EPFL, for the European Professional Football Leagues. So after a couple of weeks, I was in despair. I was about to leave to Buenos Aires, and he gave me a call. And I think I was so enthusiastic that I didn't listen to the salary offer. I think I say yes. It could have been the worst ever to live in Switzerland. But this gave me the possibility not only to play for the top European leagues in football, but also to start an organization from scratch. We were only two, me and the general secretary. And at that time, it was so busy that I remember someone said to me, you look like that advertising where the person is actually ringing the phone and taking the phone and saying, yes, hello, I'm talking with the reception. Yes, I would like to speak with the communication department. Yes, 1 second. Communication department? Yes, hello? Yes, please put me through with the marketing department. Yes, 1 second. Marketing department here. So I was feeling like I was doing everything. I was drafting circulars, presentation, building furnitures, doing the booking for the general secretary. So a lot of things of this sort of task that no one ever liked to do, but I was doing it and I was trying to excel on that. And after, when the EPFL grew in membership and grew as well in staff, I had the opportunity to switch, actually, from those tasks to be a key part of the organization. So I started to basically represent the EPFL in UEFA bodies, in European Union bodies, in FIFA. As well, I was heading the administration. And as well, I was the secretary of the board of directors and the General Assembly. So what I want to say here is that be sure that at any point in time, you will also go through these jobs, possibly initially in your career. But you don't need to despair. Normally, these jobs are not the ones that we like because are not related to the sport organization we dream about, or also because are not part of your area of expertise or maybe favorite area. But it's important to actually embrace them because not only they will allow you to still develop your competitive advantage, but they will give you the opportunity maybe to start doing things that were not expected there, but lead you to another job of much more hierarchy or importance, if you want to call it in this way. And this was exactly what happened to me. So what is important in this respect is that sometimes while you are nurturing your competitive advantage, you need to adapt to your job, and sometimes that job is not your dream job. So after a while, I had the opportunity to think while I was working 9 years for the EPFL, and I thought, okay, I want basically to review a bit my priorities, and will happen to you as well in your careers. And I thought, I want to bring all the knowledge that I acquired in European football to my homeland, outside Europe, and trying to professionalize and grow the game in those continents. So what I did, someone would say I was crazy, but I quit the job without any other job. And I started as a consultant. I didn't know actually at that moment where this consultant job would have led me, but I started because I take that sometimes leap of faith that everybody needs to take in order to review your priorities, to understand where actually you are, where you want to go, and how I will get there. And this is also something that I'm sure it will happen at a certain point of your career as well. So there were people as well that were also believing in my competitive advantage, once again. So I started to have as a client FIFA, so I was feeling a little bit more closer to my professional goals. And everybody here that work as a freelance or self-employed knows what I'm talking about. That is a tough one. That is long hours, 24/7. You need to be persistent, optimistic, relentless. You need to be as well self-motivated, but above all, you need to be prepared to a lot, and I'm meaning a lot, of negative answers. But fortunately, I started this consultancy for FIFA. I was implementing club license in South America, and I was able to as well be a little bit closer to FIFA. And when the time came, President Infantino took over the administration of FIFA in 2006, and in November 2016, 16, I applied for the job that I saw in the FIFA.com, which is currently the job that I'm occupying. So my lesson here for you is sometimes you need to shake up your status quo. Sometimes what you need to do is to review your priority and get out of that comfort zone, because it will enable you actually to understand where you want to go. So you need to take that leap of faith, because what I felt at the time is that I was giving one step back of where I was in the EPFL. But that enables you many times to do 2 steps forward. And this is the important thing. So now at the FIFA role, I have the privilege and the responsibility as well to be the first contact point and assist 23 members associations in the Americas region, from Canada to Argentina, Central America, 3 Spanish-speaking MAs in the Caribbean as well. And I have also the possibility to lead 2 of the regional offices that, of the 10 regional offices that FIFA has around the world, 1 in Panama and 1 in Asunción, and also to lead a team that you may have seen here, a team of 8 people that not only are great professional people, but for me, most importantly, are excellent human beings. So what we do is basically to help the MAs to plan, prepare, implement, monitor all the project of development and also the financial assistance for development that we provide to them via the Forward program that we implemented in FIFA. And this is important as well because we need projects more sustainable and they are meaningful for the development of the game. And we need to do this thinking that the MAs need as well to have a proper planning and a proper strategy, a robust administration, and being more and more professional every day. So we help them as well, and I'm proud to say this, to the 23 member associations, some of them already may have had, to establish a strategy, a long-term strategy for 4 years. And not many of them, they had this strategy in place when I arrived. So this is important because we create this mentality of planning within the organization. Many of the people of the administration at that time, 10 years ago, had never thought to actually implement a strategy. It was a very presidentialistic model at that time in the region. So everything was going on because the president was saying so. And now I had the opportunity to have this job at FIFA, which I'm really enjoying because I think I'm doing something meaningful for the sport I love. But I do this, and for those that are interested to work in FIFA, I think I do this because I always have in mind the combination of 3 things. One is you need to have the right attitude to serve football. So you need to be prepared to work long hours, to make long journeys and visits, sometimes 2-3 weeks without seeing your family, because you need as well to answer the phone late at evenings because of the time difference. Maybe one federation is calling you because needs assistance. You need to be open-minded as well because you need to understand that you need to continue your learning process. I mean, the world is vast. The realities are different. The football environment are different. If we think that we need to implement just one solution, a fit for all, it will not work. We need to listen to the MAs, to be humble, to understand which are the priorities and needs, and then working together in order to find the right solution that tailors and suits them. And then finally, and this is maybe a catchy word that many people say, but you need to have the love for the game. And I'm telling you why. You will be able to enter FIFA, to access FIFA. But if you don't love the game, you will not be able to excel in your position. So, again, I think I have a lot of ups and downs in my career. I think I was able to move forward because I have clear in my mind my goals. I did it one step at a time. I was also myself in terrible despair and also sometimes impatient and anxious to get a job. But wherever job I was offered, I took it and I tried to be really motivated and I tried to do my best in order obviously to excel. And one person said to me once, no matter actually what you do, if you do it well and you excel in what you are doing, this will have a tremendous effect. And many people, outside even the organization you are working, will notice that. And actually will have a positive impact as well on your career. So this is important for me, and I wanted to share my experience with you. I don't think that obviously we will have the same path, but I think one tiny advice that I learned is that thanks to those people that helped me along the way, I was able to understand that human interaction is one of the most important things because create bridges and also chain opportunities in order for you, one after the other, to seize them. And if you are close to a colleague, for instance, I will ask you to grab the hands to the left, to the right, and you will notice that, don't be shy, maybe you don't know, but you will understand that for you, someone to actually seize the dream job that she or he wants will need to pass through all those people, because the right recruiter, or maybe the person will define if you enter in or not in the job that you dream of, is on the other side of the room. And you will need to tie hands and go through all these people in order to reach that job. But also the person next to you, at certain point in his career or her career, will need you as well to go all the other way and trying to find the help of all those people to reach the right recruiter and the right decision maker for you to get the dream job. So it's about people helping people. And I would like then to remind you the three most important things that I learned throughout my career. Identify your competitive advantage. Adapt to your job reality while nurturing your competitive advantage. And as well, take, and please I say it again, take that leap of faith. Because one step back could mean for you in your career 2 steps forward. But above all, find the right people who shall help you along the way. Thank you very much for your attention.